back, and we're back for good
for a while.
Until one Wednesday out of next month, I think. Anyway, I am Jeannie. This is Chris. We are
Chris and Jeannie.
yes, live. We teach federal work comp to all federal employees. We do topics. We do state national trainings. We do Zoom trainings. And this channel, what we come on and do is train federal employees how to file their paperwork the right way, what to do if you come across a not so nice supervisor, and how to get around all the hurdles and obstacles.
And I love especially teaching you the rules, laws, and regulations of OWCP that will help you overcome all of the nonsense your supervisors tell you.
Right.
So tonight's topic is a great topic.
We're going to wait before we say it because there's only like 3 people on. So in the meantime, I'm going to have Chris talk about our 2 events that we have coming up. Actually 3. AP, DECA, and Greenville.
Yeah.
So Chris will talk about that. I'm going to go and click the share button, and you should too. And if you are tagging your friends, please do the @ and tag them so their name shows up in blue from your phone, because they won't see it if you just put their name. Because a lot of people were saying my friend isn't seeing your live, and it's because you have to do the @ and it has to show up blue.
So let me tell you why that's so important. Everywhere we go and do live trainings, I ask for a show of hands who has seen us on social media, and like almost 9 out of 10 times, 2/3 of the room doesn't raise their hand. And we've been doing this live OWCP training since 2016. We've expanded from just Facebook to multiple social media platforms. We've gotten the word out in the biggest way we know how, but still too many of you don't know about it. So it is up to you to let someone else know. And if you do that, those folks can come in and get taught what they need to learn, just like you are. And it's free to everyone. Everyone is welcome. And all you've got to do is just let folks know that we're here to help. And if you have a question tonight, there's no reason you should still have that question tomorrow.
So share some more. I also am able to share from my personal Facebook page, but for some reason it told me I share too much. That's because there's so many Facebook groups that I have to share to.
I don't even know what that means, share too much.
You know, you would think that Facebook would want everybody to come on their platform and see stuff. So Facebook, if you're listening, listen up. Let me share. Let me share to more than 180 Facebook pages. I need to. So if you're listening, Mr. Zuckerberg and Meta and whoever else is behind it, open up my my channels. All right. So tonight, a lot, and I mean a lot of you have been asking, what is a schedule award? How do I get a schedule award? If I retire, if I get fired, all of this question that I've been seeing about a schedule award, can I still get a schedule award? So,
but you know, the interesting thing is when I'm in those live audience groups, I ask the question, raise your hand if you know what a schedule award is, if you've ever heard of it. And the vast majority of the room also hasn't heard of that. Like, more people have heard of me than heard of schedule awards. And so then I say, well, who here has heard of money? It gets a good laugh, but that is what a schedule award is. It's money. It's like a final settlement at the end of your OWCP claim. And Booker said, I do. Yeah. You know what money is. I hope everyone has a good relationship with money. But schedule awards are that. And tonight I'm going to teach you the rules, the laws, the regulations. I'm going to teach you what schedule award is and how you get it. And I think at the end of this, we're probably going to get blown up with questions on private messages and all kinds of things.
The only thing we want to say is, please do not ask, how much will I get for my arm? How much will I get for my knee? We don't have the answers. It is a calculation times weeks, so we don't know. So where do they go for schedule awards?
So when you really want to, you have a specific question about a schedule award, and you want one. And after tonight, you will know if you qualify for one and what to do if you do. But you'll call Eric Blowers.
Correct.
So will you just pin his number there?
I will do that.
Okay. So Eric Blowers is our attorney friend. He's your attorney friend. He specializes in schedule awards. He does more schedule award work than all the other federal lawyers combined nationwide. And I was talking to him. We were talking to him. He was on our podcast, actually. And that's the Breaking OWCP podcast with Chris and Gini. By the way, go check that out anywhere you listen to podcasts. And Eric told us that his average schedule award amount, do you remember what he said?
No.
$150,000. You got to trust your gut. $150,000 is his average schedule award. That means some are way more, some are less. That's the way that goes. But that's a pretty big, gigantic average for dollars. So now that you know that the number one schedule award lawyer in the country gets an average of $150,000 per schedule award, who here wants to know more about it? Trust me, if you were in the live audience, you'd all be raising your hand. And I get it completely. Frank, what's up, Frank?
Frank, how are you?
So, do we want to wait for more people to go?
Yeah, let's just wait for a few more people. I'm going to have Chris again try to do some housekeeping where we're going to be. We have 3 more events for the remainder of the year, or maybe 4, because I'm not going to talk about who it is yet. And I want to say hello to David if he's on here. David, I had a call with another, it's a different union and they're awesome. And they've invited us to possibly train at their national convention in Houston.
Huge.
So it's huge. And we can't wait to meet all those guys that take care of us on an everyday basis.
Yeah. So we're going to be in Orlando coming up in just a few weeks at the Florida State APWU convention. And I'm actually going to be doing a big training there to everyone that's in attendance. So super excited about that. We love hanging out with the Florida APWU guys and ladies. Last time we were in, where were we? Miami? Yeah, Miami.
Yeah, Miami.
Yeah, Cuban restaurants everywhere. We were in Miami. And we had the most fun hanging out at Mango's with everybody there. So this time we hope to take everybody and hang out at the Mango's in Orlando. I hope that's able to work out. But the Florida APW is such a fun bunch.
Okay. Before we start, and those of you didn't hear, number 1, we won't be talking about how much you're going to get for each body part because literally we don't know. And the next thing that we said, and I just pinned it, you can see I pinned it. If you want Eric Blowers to discuss and review your schedule award, his information is there. It's best if you call him. We don't have anyone else to refer to as far as doing the schedule award the correct way. So call him. And then one more thing. If you already have an attorney representing you, he cannot talk to you.
Yeah, so lawyers can be disbarred.
Yes.
If that happens. So, bear with them. So, Dr. Corbin is on.
Nice. Hey, Doc.
Welcome. This is his first time on Wednesday Night Chats. He's listed his location, his address, and his phone number there. So that's awesome. He's in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. He's our newest franchisee, and this guy is fired up and excited. So if you're in that area and you want your claim accepted, that's where you go. And if you don't want your claim accepted, that doesn't make sense. So you all do.
See my new cup?
Definitely not coffee.
But it is.
And somebody asked who answers the messages. That one right there answers the messages.
I answer the messages on all the social media platforms. I am the complaint department and the message department. I also do the 877 number. And I know a lot of you get frustrated. I'm going to tell you, I showed Chris what we traveled from Tampa to Kentucky, and I didn't get to answer my calls. At the end of the night, I had 49 calls. So please understand, just like when you guys call the claims examiner, just call once, leave a message, and it'll say, it doesn't say anything because I had to change my voicemail. My phone went wacko. So you only get a phone number. Just leave a message and I will get back to you via text, or I will call you, or have somebody from one of the offices call you.
Yeah.
Because it's so many phone calls, I cannot handle them all myself. So I look up your phone number and I just send it off to that office to give you a call. So I'm sorry if you don't all get to talk to me. And yes, I'm the girl that's on chats that answers the phone.
There are roughly 2.8 million federal employees and one of her.
Yeah. And everybody goes, oh my God, you're the girl on the chats. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just a regular girl. So
she's not regular.
I'm regular.
Not regular.
So let's get into it. We are talking about schedule awards. So first thing, what's a schedule award, Chris?
A schedule award is this beautiful thing that's money. It is sort of a final settlement once you've reached maximum medical improvement. So you're as good as you're ever going to get. Then you become eligible for a schedule award if you have an injury that qualifies for it. And not every body part does. I'll tell you in advance, the spine does not. It's not fair, but one of the things Chris says all the time is OWCP is not about fair. It just is what it is. We got to know the rules and, go from there. But tonight you're going to know the rules and you'll be able to go from there. But a schedule award is a final settlement after you're as good as you're ever going to get in OWCP. People ask me all the time, so Chris, how do I get a schedule award? So the other thing you need to know is this is a doctor's determination, right? I can't say it's schedule award time. Nobody can except for your treating doctor. The way this works, now this is, I'm going to try to keep it as uncomplicated as possible. But let's say that, you've been doing all the treatment and everything the doctor tells you need to do. And at some point you just kind of plateau and you go back in for a reevaluation with your doctor and, follow up. And the doc says, well, you've done injections and surgery or whatever, right? And therapy, and you've done all of this stuff and you were getting better, but now you're not anymore. So you are at maximum medical improvement. This is as good as you're ever going to get.
MMI.
And MMI could be that you're 100% better. Like you're all the way back to normal. It can be that. Or it could mean that you have a deficit of, 10% or 5% or 20%. Who knows, right? Everyone's different.
Right.
But at that point, the doc says, look, you've done everything you can. I don't have any other tricks up my sleeve. This is all we can do. And you're now at MMI, maximum medical improvement. So that is the first trigger. So, all right, the doctor said I'm at MMI. Now from MMI, your doctor has to be able to do an impairment rating. The impairment rating is the hardest part. I'm telling you, we have the best doctors in the country, and very few of our doctors know how to do impairment ratings because it's just so complicated. And now OWCP in their infinite wisdom has made it harder. Now they have to do 2 different impairment ratings and compare them. Not just one, now they have to do 2. So it's even more difficult. But that's where Eric Blowers comes in because he's connected with doctors all over the country that are really good at it.
Yeah.
And they specialize. We don't specialize in schedule awards. We specialize in getting your claim accepted, getting you better, and getting you back to work. That's our specialty. Someone else specializes in schedule awards, although some of our docs, know how to do them. Most of them don't because it is a subspecialty under OWCP.
And we would prefer you, honestly, calling Eric Blowers.
For sure.
Because he knows how to maximize and get the most, and I mean the most, for your schedule award that maybe our doctors don't know or don't understand. And, we're not saying anything bad about our doctors, but it is best to go with Eric.
Yeah. And again, an average schedule award amount of $150,000, that doesn't suck, right? And so, it's probably in your best interest, but you are the one who gets to determine what's in your best interest. So you can just call Eric and you guys can talk.
Yes.
Okay. So you've been placed at MMI. You now know you need an impairment rating. You get the impairment rating by somebody, right? You get the impairment rating. That impairment rating percentage is then plugged into a very complex, long algebraic equation.
Correct.
To determine your dollar amount. They take this thing called a schedule award chart. And by the way, look it up. Go to Google and search OWCP schedule award chart. You'll find it, okay? You're going to see a body part like leg and a number beside it. That's number of weeks. And if it says 288 weeks, then you multiply 288 times your impairment rating percentage times your pay rate. And that's how you get it. So That's how you calculate a schedule award amount.
And this is why we cannot go over each body part.
Well, no, the X factor. Look, I can tell you number of weeks,
Right.
and you can tell me what your pay is, but nobody can tell you what your impairment percentage is because you don't have one yet. So it's impossible to calculate without that. But it's interesting because Eric, it's like he seems to just know. If you say, "What do I get for my knee?" He just pretty much knows what's up.
Yeah.
What do I get for a shoulder? He kind of just knows, so he can give you a ballpark that's super close. And so that's why you want to do that. And all of your questions, we're going to answer them at the end.
Yeah. So you can keep your questions coming. We will get to it.
So a couple of important points. Number one, most important point, your claim must be accepted in order for you to be eligible for an impairment rating or for a scheduled award. You have to have your claim accepted. That's a serious problem anywhere that there's not a federal injury centers. The reason that is because nationwide, only about 14% of federal employees have accepted claims. That's awful. That means 86% of people will not qualify for a scheduled award unless you're at federal injury centers, because we have more like a 97% claim accepted rate. And so only 3% of people won't get a scheduled award, except that 3% is also filled with claims that just aren't accepted yet. So we're closer to 100 than 97. So you go to federal injury centers, you get your claim approved almost every time. And then if you have a body part, this is the second thing, that is qualified for an award, then you can get paid a scheduled award when you're an MMI. So believe it or not, that's the whole story.
The end.
You must, but I can't stress enough, when you go to the doctor, you need to follow your doctor's orders. It doesn't mean that if the doctor says, "I want you to have surgery," you have to say yes to surgery. You can say no to anything. But at some point, the doctor's going to say, "Well, okay, then that's it. And we can't get you any better than this." And so now you're at MMI. Right. If you refuse something the doctor thinks can help. But that's okay. Again, like, I don't want to have surgery. I've had them many times, but I don't want them. But you are allowed to decline treatments.
Yeah.
But for that treatment, you're at MMI. If you have the treatment, you wouldn't be at MMI, right? So the doctor will make that determination though with you, in consultation with you.
And this is another thing that Eric did say when he was on our podcast. If you've already had a scheduled award and it wasn't with Eric, he's able to look at it again and see if he can get some more money for you.
He does it all the time.
Because he does it all the time. And where is Eric Flowers located? Okay, so I'm going to read that one. Is your name Gini?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you spell it just like me. So he's in North Carolina, and it doesn't matter where the federal attorney is located. We use 3 top federal attorneys, and I posted it the other day. We use Carlos Zaldivar, we use Deborah Hauser, and we use Eric Flowers. And we met all of them because of Eric Flowers. So they all specialize in something different, but Eric definitely does the schedule award. So when you guys are looking for a schedule award doctor or ask, should my ortho do it? My best advice, our best advice, first contact Eric and let him tell you. If it's not something that's feasible for you, you can go somewhere else. But we don't have a list of doctors that do schedule awards, because I get tons and tons of messages and phone calls. Where can I go for a schedule award? And I'm just going to wind up telling you and sending you Eric's info, or I take your info and I send it to their office.
Yeah.
So just remember that. And one of the other questions before, it has to be the 5th and the 6th edition now, not the 3rd.
I've never even heard of the 3rd.
Yeah.
When I first started in healthcare 29 years ago, almost 30 years ago, we were on the 4th. So the 3rd came before that. I assume there's a 3rd, but nobody uses even the 4th anymore. So it's definitely not the 3rd.
Okay. Carlos is located in Miami, and Deborah Hauser is located in Texas, and Eric is located in North Carolina.
Right.
So I will, after the live, I had already posted it this week, but right after the live, I'll go ahead and repost all their information, and you can choose whoever you want to. But again, out of the 3 attorneys that we have, Eric Flowers is the only one that does the schedule awards, because between Deborah and Carlos, they send it to Eric.
Sort of. I mean, Deborah knows how to do them.
Yeah, but she doesn't specialize in that.
I prefer Eric to do these because he averages $150,000 each.
Yeah.
Right.
So number one, contact Eric Blowers' office, or you can message me. Please message me your phone number and your correct name, not your Facebook name, and I will get the information. And if it's a schedule award, again, just like what Chris said, you must be at MMI. A lot of you ask about, can my orthopedic surgeon do it? You can have them do it if they do the 5th and the 6th. Remember that.
Right.
Okay. But I won't be calling and I won't be texting and saying, go to this doctor because we don't have any that we're going to use. It's always going to go to Eric.
Yeah.
The end.
So let's answer some questions.
Okay.
And then these questions are going to help clarify some things for everybody. So if you have questions, ask them. If we accidentally go past your questions because so many people are asking, please don't get upset with us. Just repost it. Yeah. And we'll get to it. We want to answer every single question.
So let's see. I did pin Eric's info. I'll pin it again. Chandra, you said can't find a doctor in DMV area to do rating. Any suggestion? Again,
call Eric.
Contact Eric Blowers. Lee Chung, why are OWCP field nurses assigned to cases?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, it's not schedule award related, but you can ask any question. I'm glad you did that. So you all know you can ask any question. It doesn't have to be just about schedule awards. I'll answer any OWCP question. So nurse case managers, field nurses, but nurse case managers are there to facilitate you getting back to work. Some of them push you back to work too soon. Others are perfect. And we are very friendly with many nurse case managers. And some are not, but you get that in every bunch, right? But their primary role is to facilitate you getting everything you need to get back to work. And in the offices where we're very friendly with them, we find that there's great success with return to work because of the nurse case manager's participation. Now, with that said, we're not interested in sending you back. And by the way, I'm not the doctor, okay? So I don't get to send you back or take you off or give you restrictions. I'm just the guy who teaches some stuff. But we, Federal Injury Centers, are not interested in sending you back because we're the company doctor. We're not. And trust me, your management hates us. They hate me for sure. And that's fine. That actually makes me happy. But, well, it does make me happy.
I'm
yeah. So that threw me off.
Sorry.
All right, I'm back. So we're not the company doctor is my point. And we want you to get back to work when medically possible, right? And the nurse case manager's job is to help you get back to work as soon as medically possible.
Yeah. Well, we have President Ian Williams on tonight.
Ian, what's up?
Like, we can't wait to see you.
Mangoes in Orlando's way bigger. It's off the chain, man.
If you guys know us, when we go to APW in Florida, we have a little groupie. And if you're coming
groupie. We have a group.
It's our groupies.
I'm their groupie.
No. If you want to be a part of our groupies, see us when you get to APW. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got plenty of room for more friends.
All right, Lonnie. Hey there. I'm curious about the fee structure for the legal assistants. Anything legal that you need to speak to Deborah, Carlos, or Eric about? They have their own fees. We do not ask what their fee is because everybody's different for.
Okay, they're all different, but there's one thing in common between all lawyers. They're not allowed to take a percentage of your settlement.
Correct.
They're not allowed to take a percentage of your award. They cannot. Everyone, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Okay. Anyways, yeah, they're not allowed to take a percentage, and so they have to charge a fee. But in my experience, Eric's very reasonable. They all three are.
Yeah, they are.
And you just have to work with them. I don't know what their fees are. I just know they can't take a percentage.
Yeah. Chandrika, is a scheduled award given after your case is closed?
So that's another great question. So there's a lot of timelines in OWCP. You have 3 years to file a claim. You have 30 days to report a CA1 and still be eligible for continuation of pay. You have 7 days to report a CA1 and still be eligible for a CA16. But for a scheduled award, you just have to be alive.
Yeah.
And after you're at MMI, any point in time after that, all the way up until the last day of life, you can file for a scheduled award. There is no other cutoff time.
Brooker Collins, Dr. Corbin, what's your specialty? So just to let you know, I know he responded. But all of our FIC offices have they're owned mostly by chiropractors.
Not all, but mostly.
Right, that's why I said mostly. They do have an MD, they do have physical therapy, massage therapy, and if you need a specialist, you need to see FIC first, and they can refer you out because they have relationships with a lot of the orthos and any specialists.
And imaging centers too, which is really important.
Dusty, what about when an issue with the spine includes an arm or leg?
So another great question. So although the spine is not covered, the arms and legs are. So if this is causing problems in your arms and legs, then those can get a rating.
Yeah.
But again, that's a great reason to talk to Eric.
The head and the spine.
Yeah, like your brain's not covered, which isn't fair.
Sucks.
That's really awful. If you have a head injury, it's not covered. It's okay.
Nina, can you do an impairment rating for COVID to then file a schedule award?
Well, it depends. I mean,
Did you have a lung issue?
Yeah, your lungs are covered, so that is potentially covered.
So we try to tell all of our doctors to get these particular specialists, neuro, ortho, spine, pulmonology, dentists, eye doctors. And this is why when you come to our office, and again, if you have to be referred out, they can refer you out. Where is Eric Rose? Okay, Eric has helped a carrier here in Bakersfield, California.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of work there.
He's helped more people than anybody else.
Yeah. Jennifer, where are those other two lawyers? Okay.
Yeah, we answered that.
We answered that. The 5th edition. We have Kevin Andrew on from the FIC Cleveland office.
And Nina's on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Nina from McAllen office. Vicki Davenport, if you're on a schedule award and your knee is starting to get worse and you need to reopen your case, does your schedule award stop?
No. Now, you cannot receive schedule award payments and OWCP payments at the same time. But again, that's something Eric can help you navigate. Not a big deal.
If you win a schedule award, how long after do you have to let Eric look at it?
No, again, you can get your schedule award anytime in your life after you're at MMI.
Yeah, but if you're looking that you want Eric to take like a second look at what you've had, he can definitely do that, and there's no time limit he set on that.
Right.
Maria, so glad Auburn. Oh, that's Auburn, Massachusetts. It's going to open.
Yes, we're really excited about that. And we've got so many offices that are set to open, like Dr. Corbin over on the east coast of Florida. That I don't even know how many. There's just so many coming. So I'm really excited to be able to post those, and so you'll know what's coming soon.
Vicki Davenport, if you're on a schedule award and your knee is starting to get worse. Oh, okay, we just did that. I was told a back only qualifies if there's nerve damage.
If there's damage that affects your limbs, then those qualify.
Dana Lyons, I had my schedule award 3 years ago. I am now needing continued care. I had an SL L5 back fusion with 18% deficiency in the right leg. Now my left leg is having some issues as the right leg with the same back pain as before fusion. How do I get to see a doctor to see why I am having these issues? Yeah,
so all you've got to do is schedule an appointment with the doctor, and closed claims are not a big deal. I assume yours probably is. But those can always be reopened for anything that is part of the accepted condition, gives you lifetime coverage.
Yep. Jennifer, so if one gets a schedule award, what does that mean for work? Can one still work in some capacity?
Of course. So the only thing that would prevent you from working is your supervisor, nothing more. There's nothing in the rules that prevent you from working because you have a schedule award. The schedule award is just there as a final settlement when you're at MMI.
Yeah.
But if you can get limited duty and they can give you a permanent position or whatever, you are absolutely able to work.
Dusty, what if an issue with the spine includes an arm or leg?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same thing. If your arms or legs are included, your arms and legs can get a rating.
Terry, you must have missed. What is MMI? It means a maximum medical improvement.
That just means your doctor has said you're as good as you're going to get.
Brian Buster, the carrier called me and said he can't verify with eComp. Any suggestions?
Not sure what you mean by verify with eComp. If you give us a little more details, I can definitely help you out.
Pamela Roberts, I've been out of work since June 8th. My PM maxed out all my leave to get paid. It was then on day 46, I filled out my CA7 for work comp pay and still have not gotten paid. And now the paid tab says undecided. Remember, guys, when you're filling out your CA7s, you have to wait till your claim is accepted. Keep track of it, keep filing it, but you have to wait to submit them till your claim is accepted.
Yeah, you don't have any OWCP benefits until your claim is accepted. Any, including pay. That's very important.
Francis Locke, my doctor just placed me at MMI. Do I still get disability until the schedule award goes through? How does this work?
Yeah, of course. Nothing changes until something else changes. So you're good. That's not going to stop just because you're at MMI.
Gini, will I get schedule award if I've been separated from federal services?
As long as you're still alive and your claim was ever accepted and it was on a body part that is a rateable body part, the answer is always yes.
How long do you have to do for an expansion? If you want to have something added?
You can do an expansion anytime it is medically necessary to do so. And I mean any time.
Brooker Collins, what if you have 9 cases and out on one, being paid on one case, can you put in a schedule award for the other cases which you've reached MMI?
Yes. You just can't be paid dual benefits on a single case. But if you have multiple cases, absolutely, that's okay to do.
Brian, she got injured and tried to register on eComp, said she can't verify it. It sounded odd to me as well. I can reach out and ask her.
Yeah, so to register on eComp is literally 2 screens. And in order to not be able to register, you'd have to not know your address, your social, your date of birth, and things like that. So I'm not sure how that would happen. When I teach this in live audiences, I teach how simple this is because it's literally just 2 screens. So I'm not sure how somebody could not be able to register, very truthfully. I'd like to know more information, and we can be happy to help her out.
Jeannie said, you guys are awesome. These are things they just don't tell you. So I'm going to pause with the questions because we want to tell you something that if you missed our live when we were in Vegas, we said we had a surprise for you guys coming. And so those of you that didn't hear the surprise,
this is going to be great.
Here is a surprise. We decided that a lot of you are, 1, upset we don't get invited to your state or national convention. 2, you just can't make it sometimes on our chat to see everything we're training and talking about. So Chris and I just decided, you know what? Since we can't make it to every single state convention, even with our partners, we wouldn't be able because some of you guys have it all the same month.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really hard for us to be at all those places.
Like we went to Kentucky, we went to Vegas. And then again, this week, AFGE is still there. So it's really hard. Mail handlers are in Vegas this week. So imagine if we had to go train at every single one.
And our puppies miss us.
Yeah.
Believe me, they're really upset when we're gone.
With the in-person training, it's first come, first serve.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. And for the folks in Utah, we'll always come to Utah.
Yeah. So we're really excited. So a couple of things happened. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want you to think that I'm bitter about it, but it really kind of opened my eyes and said, I can help a lot more people if I do this same 3-hour class on social media. The same one that I just did in Kentucky for a DOL group, which was awesome. I don't think I've ever had more fun, by the way, than I had with that group.
In Utah?
No, in Kentucky just now.
Oh, the coal and mine and OWCP folks.
So Kentucky's like the birthplace of bourbon, and I like bourbon, and the people there liked bourbon, and they wanted to have a bourbon conversation during a break.
Yeah, they didn't want to talk about OWCP.
The break lasted like twice as long because we were talking bourbon. It was a lot of fun, and but it was a 3-hour class that I gave on OWCP, and it's the standard 3-hour class I do. I'll make some changes depending on who the audience is. To make it more relevant to the audience. But, then we weren't able to speak at another group. And I just said, I can touch a lot of lives by doing this. And so we're going to give everyone plenty of notice. And this is the second notice that we've given.
Yeah.
And what month are we doing the first one?
So we are going to do probably either twice a year or quarterly. We're going to see how this first one works out. So October, and it will be on a Sunday in October. This way, most of you are home. We will give breaks. We just won't shut it down. We'll give you a break. We'll go take a 5-10 minute break, and then we'll come back on. We are going to stream it off of Zoom, and we are going to stream it off of the social media platforms that we tell you guys about.
Just like this.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok. We will not be saving that live. And just to let you guys know, our presentation that we will be presenting is copyrighted, so we will know if you do use it or not. But this is a great way for thousands, and I'm not saying hundreds, and I mean thousands of you to be able to watch us between Zoom and all of our social media platforms. And we will be doing the actual 3-hour OWCP training, just like what he does when we do go out to train in certain state conventions.
And if you are somebody that's heard me speak live, you will attest to this, that it never fails. When I'm finished with my class, you can see the light bulbs turning on in everyone's head in the room.
Yeah.
And everyone comes to me. I get this all the time. Wow, nobody's ever taught it like this.
Yeah.
And my training is so comprehensive and also so easy to understand. And it never fails. Like, we have experts all over the country because they sat in a 3-hour class with me. And so now, whereas like in Kentucky, we talked to 15 people. It was the 15 funnest people I've ever spoken to. If I would have been able to speak at the National BOP convention, there were 500 chairs in the room and they were all filled. That would have been awesome. It would have been the biggest room ever for me. But as it is, the largest room I've ever spoken to is like 150 to 200 people.
Yeah.
Well, here I expect to get 20,000. That's my expectation. I expect 20,000 people.
There's almost 3 million federal employees nationwide, and that's including Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, and Guam.
But I would like to break the internet. I'd like to have so many people that it can't hold us all.
I know.
That would be amazing.
If Tony Robbins can do it, we can.
Well, I mean, I'm almost as good as Tony Robbins.
So again, I assume we're making some. We have to sit and talk to our folks we're going to be streaming this. Chris and I will be in a hotel conference area where we're going to be doing this live. We'll have our case manager and our partners on answering the social media stuff. I will handle the questions that are going to be coming off the Zoom. It'll be perfect because we're going to have 2 of our best good friends helping us stream this.
Our audio video people. We're not going to have technical difficulties
this time. No technical difficulties, right. So get ready for that. Again, it'll be between 3 and 4 hours, only because of questions. We're saying for 4, but it will be streaming on Zoom and social media on a Sunday in October. We will bring you more as things develop, as Greg Helms says.
That's my dad.
All right,
back to the questions.
Penny Stanley. I have an accepted condition, foot and knee injury on the same leg. Is an impairment rating more for that leg since I have more than 1 injury?
Yeah, potentially, because it has to multiply the impairments from 2 body parts, 2 areas of that leg. So yeah, again, that's an Eric Blauer's question, but yes, absolutely, that should increase your reward.
Pamela Roberts, my case has been approved, but I still haven't gotten paid. I've been traveling to Bessemer for physical therapy and not received my reimbursement for mileage.
Yeah, so you'll have to just contact your claims examiner, leave a voicemail, and ask, is there something else they need? They have to respond because that voicemail will be transcribed into a document that they have to respond to.
I know a lot of you get frustrated sometimes with the offices, and then you wind up texting me, messaging me, or calling and saying, hey, I can't get in touch with this office. Please just call the office first. Always ask to speak to the case manager that's in the office, because I don't have access to eComp. I don't have access to your chart. The same way you message me, I copy and paste the message and send it to that office.
Yep.
So just to let you guys know.
Yeah, and that's important for you to know. Even though, we're the owners of the company, we do not have access to your medical records, and we should not have access to your medical records, so we don't.
Marie Knowles, how long for a schedule award to go through?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing in the rules that makes them have to do it in any period of time. And so all you can do is when you start to feel like, wow, that's taking a while, call the claim examiner, leave a message, and just ask. But what I don't want you to do is call over and over and over and over and over and over again, because remember, just like us, we're just 2 people and there's almost 3 million of you. We talked to a claims examiner in Kentucky, and her caseload, did she say she has 50 or 150? I don't know. Her caseload was enormous.
Yeah. There was an actual senior claims examiner sitting in our class, and she loved how Chris presented it. She said he dummied it down. And she loved it because it made them understand every single thing about OWCP after that. And she said she's gotten more training from him than she has ever gotten, even being a claims examiner. And a note to everybody, she said, please just call once. She will, or they will, whoever your claims examiner is, will get back to you It may be a couple days. That's because 5,000 of you are calling and leaving messages, and they have to go through everything.
But this is their full-time job too,
Yeah.
so they're there with you. They're going to help you.
Maria said the rural carrier craft is a yo-yo pay schedule, now every 6 months. How does that affect OWCP payments?
You just can't receive. I'm not sure what that means, but that was confusing to me, and I'm sorry that I'm confused.
Do you want to read it again? There it is.
The rural craft is a yo-yo pay schedule, now every 6 months. How does that affect the OWCP payments? Okay, it's my understanding that OWCP payments come, every couple of weeks or every month. So I don't know what every 6 months means. That sounds crazy to me.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is just a reminder: you can't receive OWCP payments at the same time you're receiving schedule award payments.
Yeah. Donna McNabb, how can I go about getting your books? My union steward is wanting to learn more about OWCP. Well, number one, Donna, if you want all your stewards to get this training, not that you can't get the book, but tell them, because we just had a union president yesterday, a state president, and Chris knows, he said he's going to make sure his entire local is on our Zoom training, and he's going to quiz them. He always does.
And I'm curious if there's any interest in this, but I've written 4 books. Many of you know that. They're all called Breaking OWCP, Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, except the 4th one is probably the best. It's called The 25 Things You Can Do to Win an OWCP. I am in agreement. I've already made an agreement with somebody to work with me on this. I'm going to be repackaging the books and putting them into one big hardback book.
Yeah.
It'll be reorganized a little bit. I'll probably add some new content, as I always do. But who would be interested in getting their hands on the newest repackaged Breaking OWCP, all 4 volumes combined with new content?
Yeah.
I'm interested. Who would be interested in that?
Probably a hardcover, and
definitely hardback.
It's going to be the final chapter of Breaking OWCP. If you guys want that, I'm going to put a post out there for that. So we're going to see how many of you want it and get some. Donna sent me.
Now, those of you that want to know, why is it called the final chapter?
Because it is.
Stay tuned.
I think we went through all of it in the last, coming up close to 10 years. So everybody's saying me, me, me. Awesome. Dusty, do we have to have an attorney to receive a schedule award?
No.
No, you don't.
No, what you have to have is a doctor who knows how to do it. Unfortunately, most doctors don't know how to do it.
They'll say they do. And again, remember, it's the 5th and 6th edition. And we've heard from a lot of providers that it normally takes, a couple hours to do. So again, you don't have to have Eric. You can go to whoever was going to do the 5th and 6th edition. But to be fair, and we make nothing off of this, Eric would be your best bet and his entire team, because this is what they specialize in to get maximum benefits for you.
Yeah.
Brooker, so how do you reopen a case that's been closed and you separated from government service via retired, which you still have complications from the injury?
Yeah. What will happen at that point is your doctor will write a letter of medical necessity explaining why your claim needs to be reopened. And that's going to get e-comped to your claims examiner, and the claims examiner is going to make a decision there. You can also call your claims examiner and explain the situation and ask if they want you to fill out a CA2A. You don't have a supervisor to turn it into. So you have to coordinate with the claims examiner and your doctor.
Oh, and if you're the book, you can only get any of our books by PDF.
For now.
We only give out our hard copy books at conventions. That's the only way you can get it. And that's why we made them for you that way.
Yeah, we just gave out probably 200 books last week because we were live.
Yeah.
We were there.
Lonnie Duke, I have an accepted claim from 1996 that I'm considering filing for a schedule award. However, the file on eComp is empty and my employer does not have a copy of the CA1. Any idea how OWCP may respond if they can't locate nearly 30-year-old case file?
You absolutely need to talk to Eric about this,
Yeah.
Because he'll be able to get any records that are out there. And even if you don't have the records because they lost it, he'll be able to help you navigate that. So give him a call. And by the way, that's because that's the very best answer I have.
Francis Locke, my doctor just placed me at MMI. Do I still get disability until the schedule award goes through? How does it work?
Yeah, there's no reason disability would need to be cut off. So I wouldn't worry about that.
D. Smith. There is a mileage reimbursement form that has to be filled out in order to get your money. OWCP Form 957, Part A. You mail it in and filed it accurately. You get payment in about 2 to 4 weeks.
And be sure you attach documentation to prove where you were at, how many miles you drove. That's going to be important for you.
Maria said, every 6 months we can get a new evaluation and our pay actually changes every 6 months. This crap has to be the most confusing.
Oh, okay, that's what the 6 months.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right, so yes.
Basically reevaluating the route.
Lori Fisher. Hi, Chris and Jeannie. If I were to go on federal disability retirement, can I still file for a schedule award?
Absolutely, yes.
And even for federal disability, Eric can handle that, or Deborah Hauser.
Yeah.
One of the two. Mary says, just had my second surgery last July. Oh, this July 15, 2024. Sad to say, not feeling good about it. Still getting swollen and pain near my rotator cuff is terrible. Without medicines for pain, am I in trouble? And my neck is killing me and still waiting for all the doctors in Forest Park to add it to my case. Am I in trouble with these pains now? Please help. How can I add my neck for this case? Help me, please.
So you're in Forest Park. Talk to Tiffany or Adriana over there. They're the case managers for Dr. Cooper, and they know exactly how to get that done.
Donna McNabb, she's interested in learning now because she was hit and injured last month and has no clue about what to do. I've been trying to answer questions for her, but having your books would be awesome. She wants the information to help everyone in our office. So the best bet, if you don't want the PDF, because we don't know when we're going to come out with book number 5, the final chapter. So the best bet is have them come here. All of our videos are here since 2016. There is a ton of videos. There's got to be over 1,000 videos and posts.
There's gotta be.
So how can I get your books?
Send us a message.
Todd, I had big success when I filed a grievance about an inappropriate job offer based on a huge help from you guys, including a monetary reward. I got almost my entire requested remedy letter carrier. Oh, congratulations.
That is awesome. And look, I appreciate you saying that. It was Todd.
Yeah.
Todd, thank you for saying that, because that's proof. If you just do the stuff we're selling you here, it works.
Right.
And I would strongly encourage you to do the things I tell you to do, which reminds me, we had another person that came up and said, well, that's not what my supervisor said, so I'm just going to do what they say. Listen, you can do anything you want to do, but your supervisor does not care about you almost always. Some supervisors are awesome, okay? But the vast majority don't care about you, all right? They're going to replace you tomorrow if you leave. And they don't know about OWCP. How many supervisors said, I've never heard of a CA-16? That's ridiculous, okay? So if there's a conflict from what I say and what they say, do yourself a favor and go with Chris.
John Reverend.
What's up, John?
He said, that's not coffee. You know what? It's funny. Yeah, I know the cup says it's not coffee, but it really is.
It's too late for coffee, John.
Yeah.
Way too late.
I was getting a little cold. I don't know why. He said, do you guys cover combat veteran VA claims?
So we only specialize in OWCP. We are not specialists in VA claims. Sorry about that.
Here. Ted, Vicky, are you live? Yes,
Ted.
You're live.
What's up, Ted? Yeah, this is live.
Yeah. Okay, let me go back. So, all right. Todd said, my OWCP rep said I had no right to a 30-day response from the job offer. I submitted it to the OWCP rep and she agreed.
What? Okay, so that's ridiculous. I've done a few Wednesday night chats about this topic.
Yeah.
But in order for you to accept the schedule award, the schedule award has to go to you in writing and to your claims examiner. Your claim examiner reviews it, and then if agreed, let you know, probably in writing, that it looks like you got a valid job offer here. And once the claims examiner tells you that, the Code of Federal Regulations says that you have 30 days to review it with your doctor. That's the law. So your supervisor or whoever can say what they want, but the law is clear, and it's in my last book, The 25 Things You Can Do to Win in OWCP.
Linda said, what do you send with the OWCP 957 reimbursement for proof?
Go ahead and send like a Google map showing the miles that you drove from point to point. And then let's say like you were going to the doctor, get a printout of your appointment, just have the doctor sign it. It's not a big deal. You could even get like the doctor's signature stamp because that can only come from the doctor's office. So that's proof enough. And that should get it done for you.
Brooker, what is the penalty when the agency doesn't turn or forward your forms within 5 business days of your signature?
So there's not a penalty that I've ever seen. They do have, okay. So on a new claim, a new CA 1 or 2, they actually have 10 days to turn it in. On a CA 7 claim for compensation, they have 5, right? So that's the difference. But the real penalty happens when you file a grievance and win. And that's what I suggest.
Todd said, you guys are amazing. Your information is invaluable. Aw,
Thanks,
thank
Todd.
you.
I really appreciate that.
Marie Knowles, if I'm getting paid a schedule award, an old case, will I still get my monthly OWCP check on my newest case?
Yes. You can receive dual benefits when they're separate cases.
D. Smith, nothing, your doctor visits are sent monthly and is your record of travel? Do you understand what that means?
No, I don't know what you mean, D, but she's replying to somebody else anyways. That wasn't a question.
Oh, okay. Damon Weber, are neck and back injuries covered for schedule awards? My injury claim was accepted.
Only if they cause problems into the arms and legs. If not, then no. Unfortunately, the spine is not a covered body part.
Right. Jennifer Schultz, I had a modified job offer done 2022 based on 21 hours. I had surgery last year and can work 40 hours, which I've been doing. Still like duty work. Should I get an updated mod job offer? So
the only reason you should get an updated modified job offer is if your ability to work has changed as indicated on your doctor's CA-17. So talk to your doctor, find out if your work restrictions are different now, at which point you can work a different, modified offer. But it's all based on the doctor's opinion.
Marie, thank you both so much for being here for us.
You're so welcome. Yeah, we love this.
Yep. Can you change an FIC office?
Can we change
FIC office?
Yeah, you can. So changing an FIC office is like any other doctor. You have a right to do a change of treating doctor. And I want you to go where you're happy.
Marie, it's so funny that you say that because we had a nasty gram message the other day.
The guy who said the ugly guy with glasses?
Yeah, he said, and the ugly guy with glasses needs to put a paper bag over his head. So put a paper bag over your head from now on.
We're like anyone else. We get hate. I don't care.
He thinks we're fraudulent and scammers, even though I told him we've gotten almost 6,000 claims approved. He says we're in bed with management, we're in bed with the union, and I'm just like, I'm not going to argue with you.
So I do I do love the unions, but none of the union folks I know want to be in bed with me. So that's not going to be an issue. And am I in bed with management? Look, management and I have a hate relationship. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. Who else does woodshed night where you take management behind the woodshed?
Just us.
We do that a couple of times a year. So it's okay. And anyways, I get hate. That's just the way it goes. I forgot about that dude like 5 seconds later.
I know. Chris
by the way, look, I'm just going to say this. This guy that said I'm the ugly dude with glasses, you should have seen his profile picture.
He was like, oh, you're calling me ugly?
Oh, that's awesome.
Anyway. But I had somebody today actually comment on that and is trying to, and reported him to their union page for the admins to take him down because he's just full of hate.
We just always say you guys will take care of it.
Yeah, Chris, what did you say?
The audience will police itself.
Yeah, so
I don't care.
You did.
Todd goes, can you share his post so we can clown him?
You know what? I was actually going to do that today and be like, what do you guys think of this? But, we just leave it alone. There's no need to they start going on and on and on. And from next week, we're going to put a brown paper bag over the guy with the glasses over here. And he's going to train like that.
Look, I'll just poke some holes in it. You'll still hear me. No problem.
Dusty, any update on another office in Missouri?
Yeah, as a matter of fact. So the Pearsons, who are in Kansas City, are working on a St. Louis office. Stay tuned. This has been in progress for a little over a month. But yes, that is something that's coming.
Donna McNabb, I've had postmasters make a job offer and tell me I have to sign it as accepted and to decline it right then and there. I've signed them as under protest restrictions not met, then came back and had them rewrite a new one that was acceptable.
So Donna, this is something that I've been hearing since the beginning of time, which for me was 2007, where you are being told to sign under protest. And it's not that I have a problem with you being told to sign under protest. It's that I have a problem with everyone not just following the damn rules. And the rules specifically give you 30 days after the claims examiner tells you, not when the supervisor tells you. When the claims examiner has reviewed it, then you have 30 days. That's the Code of Federal Regulations. For those of you that are curious, that means law. That's the law. And so the government has gone through a lot of work to put together OWCP rules, laws, and regulations. And we have a lobbyist that goes to DC once a month, and along with our partner Tom. And one of the congressional staffers said, well, just boil it down. What do you want us to do?
Right.
And Tom said, I want you to have them follow the rules. We don't want you to change anything. Just follow the rules, because if everyone follows the rules, we can all like be rowing in the same direction. At least we all kind of understand the same thing. And you don't have idiot supervisors say sign here and having to do it under protest. The rule is clear. I recommend showing the rule every single time this comes up. Here's what the law says. Can we just follow the law? Is that okay with everybody here that we follow the law? And by the way, the reason that is, it gives you an opportunity to show your doctor and make sure you're safe. That's the whole point. It doesn't have to take 30 days. It can take 3 days.
Yeah.
It can take 1 day. But you give your doctor a chance to look at it and go, yeah, this looks about right. No problem. And that's why you do that.
Drew Ingram, are there any OWCP mental health doctors? The only one that we know is in Clearwater, and his name is Dr. Booten, and he's got a 6-month wait.
Well, I also want to say Dr. Cox in Charlotte is doing some of this, and but it's hard to find. It's really, really hard to find, and I hate that.
When we have more, if we know more, we'll always put it out for you out there.
Yeah.
So don't think that we're not looking and really hearing what you guys are asking.
Let me just tell you this. You have no idea how much this matters to me.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there.
Debbie McCall, how long do you have to do an expansion?
You can do an expansion anytime it's medically necessary to do so.
I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your first name, but Ramadan is the last name. 2-part question. 1, when an OWCP is closed and you are given a chance to appeal, which is the best out of the 3 options? You just have to do reconsideration. Yeah,
well, that's my favorite, reconsideration. So review the written record is reviewing the records they already used to deny you. The oral hearing is fine, and a lot of unions like to do it because they're able to represent you, and I think that's what makes an oral hearing good if you have representation. ECAB is really more for like points of law, things like that, and we've never sent anybody to ECAB. Although, again, I respect that unions use it. I have no problem with that. We just don't. We do reconsiderations because it gives our doctors an ability to write a new narrative, which is new information for the claims examiner to consider versus just considering all the stuff they already used to deny you. So that, and plus the reconsideration gives you 12 months to appeal. The other ones are 30 days.
Yeah, just remember, make sure you guys are reading every letter coming from Department of Labor.
None of them are unimportant.
If it's denied, it will actually list why it was denied. And this is why we tell you, take that letter to the doctor that wrote the narrative in the first time, or find another doctor if you want, but take it and they will fix it.
Yeah, there's going to be a paragraph inside the denial letter that says specifically your claim is denied because ... You just got to find that paragraph and show it to your doctor.
And the second part of his question or her question is, can I get my own second opinion by an IME? Okay,
you can go get a second opinion if you want, but when OWCP sends you to a second opinion doctor, you are absolutely required to go. No exception to that. They'll cut your benefits off.
Jennifer, so I have the 5C form from doctor stating I can do the same functions I've been doing with only change being the hours. So is that enough for an updated, modified job offer? Some jobs would be listed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a change. And so your supervisor should consider that change.
Alicia Farley is on.
Hey, Alicia.
Donna McNabb, did the new office in Chattanooga fall through, or is it still in process?
Yeah.
It's still in process.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I haven't heard anything about it falling through.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad you just reminded me. So, you don't need to know this. I'm going to tell you. It's not really like, I stay in my lane. I do this, right? I go educate you. Our partner Joe is primarily responsible for bringing on new offices, and that's why it's not top of mind for me. But I'll ask Joe, and we'll get back with you on that.
There was another post I posted at the beginning of last week as well. I talked to Joe about it. All the coming soon locations, and I will also post that again, is listed where it's coming. A lot of you say, can I get the phone number? Can I get the address? We will not give out the phone number and address till they are completely 1000% trained and gone through everything that they need to know.
Let me explain why, if it's not obvious. 14% of federal employees nationwide have accepted claims. 86% do not. We will not allow you to come to an office that puts you in the 86%.
Yeah.
So we make sure our offices are all the way trained so that when they get to work and do a great job.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for that.
Drew, thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Appreciate the compliments tonight.
William Brown, can management give you a job offer without your claim being approved?
Yeah, that's a gift. Take it. Show it to your doctor, but take it.
That's a cute name, Chiquita Crowder.
I love that.
I love it. If I get assaulted by an inmate at work, what form should I fill out first?
CA1. And get a CA16 from your supervisor. The CA16 pays all your medical bills for the first 60 days, even though your claim's not accepted, and you never have to pay it back. Raise your hand if that sounds important, right? Get a CA16 and a CA1. Do the CA1 on eComp and go to your supervisor, bring a union rep with you, and get that CA16. Demand it no matter what. If you don't get it, file a grievance.
Chiquita, you must be BOP. And if you,
for sure.
And if you are, did you see us last week?
Yeah, we were in Vegas last week with all your folks at the Planet Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny because if you guys saw, I posted a bunch.
Hollywood.
I posted a bunch of pictures of different union people that were just coming by, like, hey, let's get a picture, or we wanted a picture because we've been friends for so long. And some people messaged me and said, oh, I didn't get my picture with you guys. I was like, we were just there for a short time.
And there were 500 of them there.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we're just like all over the place. So we had Alicia Farley there. She said she didn't go. Aw. Oh, she is with BOP. Yeah, I figured after you said inmate. Yeah. So next year, we'll try to get more photos.
Hey, look, Dave Dorfman's here. So Dr. Dorfman is in Melbourne, Florida, which is on the east coast of Florida as well. And he's in Orlando, Florida. And there may not be a nicer doctor in our entire network of doctors. Honestly, I'm trying to think, who's a nicer guy than him?
I think
we have a lot of nice people.
Up to you, Dr. Dorfman.
He really is. And everyone that goes to him will attest to that. He's such a super guy. And prolific at getting claims accepted. So if you're injured in Orlando or in the Melbourne, Florida area, I forget what county that is, but Brevard County.
Brevard, yeah.
Yeah, if you're in that county, you should never have a denied claim, ever.
And he has the most soft-spoken voice ever. I even when he's angry, I don't even think.
I've never seen him angry.
I'm just saying his voice doesn't change.
No, it's always just calm.
Brooker Collins, let's discuss doing a tiebreaker. When your doctor said one thing, the DOL sends you their doctor. He says something different from your doctor. How is the referee doctor chosen?
Okay, so I've actually read all the rules on this. The referee doctors are chosen from lists online of board certified doctors in the specialty that you're needing. And so they just go and they get a board certified doctor. The referee doctor is only used when the claim examiner can't determine if your treating doctor or the second opinion doctor's information is better. And then they go to a referee doctor. And again, you have to go to those visits too.
Al, hello.
So Al.
I have a question about CA7s. I've realized the amount I have been receiving is based off my pay rate from nearly 2 years ago. My pay rate has changed a lot since then. Is OWCP supposed to be using the pay rate I had when I first filed, or are they supposed to be using my current pay rate?
Your pay rate is determined by the date of injury pay rate, unless you've been back to work for a period of time that will qualify you for the increase. The exception to that is if everybody in your craft gets an increase, then you'll qualify for that as well. But unless you've been back to work, you are at your pre-injury pay rate.
Yeah.
It's not fair, but not everything about OWCP is fair. Most of it's not.
Donna, you said there's very few doctors in Chattanooga that accept federal's work comp patients.
I'd be surprised if there's one.
That's why I go to Forest Park. So we try, and I know, and this is the funny part for us. There's some people that get mad at us because there's no location. Like literally message me and very angry or leaves a very, very nasty message sometimes. And I'm like, I can't believe this. It's not our fault. Joe is trying his hardest to get at least one doctor. And we know places like California, you can't have one doctor. You have Northern California, Middle California, and Southern California.
Oh, we can have 100 offices there.
So it's hard because doctors don't want to do this.
Yeah, for every one that we've got on our roster, there's probably been 100 that said no. It's hard to get people that want to help you.
Yeah.
But the ones we have are all in. But let me just take a moment. There's one over on in Palm Beach Gardens, right? Palm Beach Gardens. Dr. Corbin was on earlier.
Cape Coral.
We've got Cape Coral coming. Very excited.
Naples.
We already have Naples.
No, I'm saying that's what we have.
Yeah.
Oh, coming.
I got this. Cape Coral. What's the first one I said? Palm Beach Gardens.
Beach Gardens.
And then we've got one coming in Reno, Nevada. I said that right, Nevada. St. Louis. What else?
Here, I'm going to pull it up. Don't worry. Just keep talking.
Yeah, so we've got several that are coming. So many that and again, it's not my lane, but we're really excited. So there's more coming.
Yeah. It's funny because we have no clue who's coming until Joe tells me, and then I post it coming soon.
Yeah.
So yeah. Elizabeth, do you have doctor's office in New Jersey? We have 2 offices.
Yep, Paramus and
Edison. And they're both great.
Yep.
And they're both getting claims accepted.
Yep, we all get claims accepted. That's just what we do.
All right. These are the coming soon locations.
Oh, this is. Forget it.
I'm going to find it. Keep talking.
All right. Well, give me a next question so I can keep talking.
Dr. Dorfman said, you're too kind and too good looking.
That's right. I don't need a bag over my head. Thank you so much.
What office do you have closest to New York that I could go to?
Is Manhattan close enough?
Manhattan, Paramus, or Edison?
So look, everybody that wants to know what offices we have, I appreciate the interest. Go to www.federalinjurycenters.com and click the locations button at the top of the page and just scroll down and see what we got. There's like 65 of them or something like that.
Right, so here are the coming soon locations.
Reno, Panama City. See, you didn't know. So that's going to be great. St. Louis, Missouri, Cape Coral, Florida, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, Jacksonville. That's right. Jacksonville, Florida, Auburn, Massachusetts. We recently added somebody in Daytona, and he's the one that's going to open up in Jacksonville. So, yeah, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 offices right there. And there's probably more coming.
Yeah.
We're really, really excited about this. And, the franchise itself, Federal Injury Centers, is we've almost outgrown our ability to do the job ourselves. And so we're bringing on a third-party company that will help onboard new doctors. And we believe that's going to speed up the rate of bringing on new doctors. So we're really excited about it.
Todd, is there a limit time for expense reimbursement if the claim is still open but you're back to work?
Nope. Well, okay, some things are like a year, but it's a huge window, so you can get it done. Just don't delay. Don't delay anything ever.
Jennifer Schultz, regarding pay rates determined by OWCP, would the pay rate change if being back to work for 6 months, a year?
I think it's 6 months, actually. Great question.
Maria Furr, I've been out of work with a knee injury and I've reached MMI. How can I apply for a schedule award? So let's talk about how you apply for a schedule award now.
Yeah. All right. So you're at MMI, maximum medical improvement, meaning you're as good as you're going to get. And that's the doctor's opinion, not mine, not yours, not your supervisors. That's the doctor, not your claims examiner, not your nurse case manager, your doctor. Okay. So the doctor says, yeah, you're as good as you're going to get, MMI. Then you say, okay, doc, can you do an impairment rating with the 5th and 6th edition? And let's see which one is greater. If not, you got to find one who is, and or call Eric Blowers, whose number is tagged or posted. What do you call it? Pinned.
Pinned, yeah.
Pinned here. He's a lawyer who's great at this. And that's it. That's the process. You're at MMI, you get an impairment rating, and then you attach your impairment rating to a CA7 claim for compensation and send that in to your claims examiner. And wait and cross your fingers.
Kim, hi guys. Once you're injured with an accepted case, can you ever move to a new state, or are you stuck at the office you were injured at?
Oh God, you can move anywhere you want to move, anytime. And if you move out of state, you can change treating doctors to the new state. There's no way they would deny that.
Lisa Kim, you guys rock. You guys rock. Kick AZZ.
Thank you so much.
You know, a lot of the times, Facebook, if you're saying certain words, they start to censor it, and then they take your page down. So that's why if you ever see me write, I write AZZ or SH exclamation T, just because I don't want us to get our page taken down.
So far, they let me say all the bad words I want to say, though. Sorry, Dr.
No
Lynn.
comment.
Sorry, Salt Lake City.
You need to change that. Jennifer Schultz, coming soon. Please tell me something near Milwaukee. We're trying. Trust me. I know we've been saying this from day one, but literally, doctors don't want to do this. Joe has been trying for Wisconsin and Michigan for so long.
We were really close to having a Madison office. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what happened to it, but I'll follow up with Joe and find out what happened.
Aw, Gerald Adams, how are you?
What's happening?
He said, hey, Chris, hey, Gini, I've been saying for a long time that you guys rock and you guys rock hard. I really appreciate how passionate you are about your work. Looking forward to seeing you guys in person one day. My granddaughter Riley said thank you for taking care of her pop.
Oh,
Aw, well, a special hello to Riley from Chris and Jeannie.
where's he located?
Yeah, he's in the DMV area.
Okay, well, you know what? I actually plan to come up. We're gonna be up there.
Yeah, I don't know what city yet. Fort Devitt? No.
Hey, we'll let
Something. We'll find out.
Yeah, when we go up there, we'll let you know where we're at. I'd love to meet you.
We might do a little happy hour and just get to meet the people in the area outside of who we're training. So we'll figure all that out.
Yeah, we love that.
Chiquita Crowder said Rochester's too far. So you can go to Manhattan again in the New York, New Jersey area. You have Boston area, we have Pennsylvania, we have New Jersey too, and Manhattan. So those are all the connecting areas, and then all the ones in the DMV area. There's like 8 offices in the DMV area.
Yeah.
Latrice, are there any more offices coming to Chicago?
We don't have anything. We don't have any plans for that. But our Chicago location is right in downtown, and Dr. Arcoleo and his medical team.
He's a bad AZZ.
Are, I mean, no kidding. He's a man after my own heart. He is awesome. And I'm not just saying that. He's incredible.
Yeah, I don't think.
So if you can get to downtown, do yourself a favor and go see Dr. Arcoleo.
I don't think. We haven't gone back to his office in St. Patty's Day that one time. It was so cool.
It's been a couple of years.
So we'll have to talk to him and see when we can come back out. I know they planned a patient appreciation, and see, this is what happens. All the doctors have patient appreciation and they want us to come. It's so hard because it's like a quick weekend and like everybody does it the same weekend. And then we have to work in our union training. So
Yeah, it's tough.
hopefully next year we can do less union stuff and focus on social media and Zoom. And then we'd be able to go to more of the patient appreciation stuff.
Yeah.
Stephanie, with the help of Dr. Carrich's office, my claim finally got approved. Awesome. I have questions about what date determines my pay rate and about leave buyback. Is that something my FIC claims manager will be able to help me with?
Yeah, but I can answer the question now. Your pay rate is the rate that you had when you were injured, unless you've been back to work for, like we said, I think 6 months. And then what was the second part of that? Because I have the answer to that too.
Is that something my FIC claims manager will be able to?
Rewind a little bit before that.
I have a question about what dates determine my pay rate and also about leave buyback.
Okay, so leave buyback is a form called a CA7B. You'll have to fill out the CA7 and maybe a 7A as well, so it's pretty complicated. But leave buyback is like a worksheet that tells you what it costs to get your leave back. So it's not free. You need to know that up front. It's not free. Holy crap.
Shoot. I know. I just saw that. Okay, I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Lisa Kim said, if I'm still on OWCP and I'm slowly, she put a snail, recovering, but soon they are releasing me soon. What should I do? I still can't lift a light duty to my back injury. Here, you want to read that?
That was super confusing.
I know.
If I'm still on OWCP and I'm slowly recovering, but soon they're releasing me, what should I do? I still can't lift a lot due to my back injury. Oh, yeah. So if your doctor's releasing you and you still can't work, I would ask your doctor what else you could do so that you can work. Communicate with your doctor. Doctors aren't perfect. They're not gods. They don't know everything. So communicate and say, hey, doc, I know you're trying to release me, but I still can't lift things. So what can you do for me? Can you send me out to a specialist? Is there more therapy I can do? Injections? Like, just find out what you can do. I'm not sure what you have done, but I would definitely be my own best advocate. Let's put it that way.
Robin Hay, I fell almost 2 years ago on the job and chipped my front teeth. Work comp paid for the dentist bill to fix my teeth. My filling on my front teeth came out recently. Will work comp pay to repair it after almost 2 years from my injury?
Yes.
If they do, what is the process? Thanks so much.
Well, contact your claims examiner and tell them what happened, and ask the claims examiner what they need to make this possible. And go to the doctor who put that in there in the first place and say, hey, I'm going to need this again. Can you write up a letter of medical necessity explaining what happened? Because your claim examiner will need that anyway. So go ahead and do that, but contact your claim examiner and just explain the situation. They definitely will cover it. They may require some medical information or, from the dentist, but they'll cover it.
Donna McNabb says, wait, my pay rate is being paid from back in 2021. I've been back to working 40 hours a week, but just doing a different job, limited duty. The doctor put me on only 4 hours a day. My pay from DOL is from 2021. Should I contact DOL and question them about that?
I would ask, but I think that's probably correct because you're not full duty. I know you're full time, but you're not full duty. And I think that's the key.
Okay, this message from Todd is really disturbing. It's sad.
Yes.
Chicago letter carriers are under attack. Forget injuries, assaults, murders. Pray for my brothers and sisters.
That's absolutely true. I mean, all you got to do is turn on any news channel. How long do you have to go? How much time do you have to watch before you see something like that? It's absolutely true, Todd. I'm so sorry that's happening, but that's a reality. I wish you all could carry guns. I mean, honestly, I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but you know what? If you're them, you're not hating me for saying that.
Paul Wedge, hello everyone. I have my schedule award exam on September 3rd. Awesome.
Yeah. And hello. He said, hello everyone.
Yeah. Mary, calling DOL is different now. It is hard now to contact the case manager direct to him or her.
Yeah, you have to leave a voicemail, Mary. All voicemails are transcribed into a document that the claims examiner is required to respond to. So it'll happen eventually.
All right. So
it's hard for me to be patient. I don't have any. And so I'm not going to tell you to be patient. But at the same time, I'm saying you'll have to have a little bit because they will get to it.
All right. So we're at the end. I can't believe it's already 9:17. So let's just go over what we talked about. Schedule award. Number 1, claim has to be approved. You must be at MMI. You need to file a CA7 for your schedule award. You're supposed to pick up from
another comment came from Kim, and it was a valid comment about alternatives to gun, and I appreciate that. That's whatever it takes to protect yourself was I'm down with that. So so we were here tonight talking about schedule awards. A schedule award is money. It's sort of like a final settlement in OWCP after your claim is accepted and your doctor places you at maximum medical improvement, MMI, which means you're as good as you're going to get according to the doctor. From there, you have to get an impairment rating from a doctor that's trained to do so. We strongly recommend contacting Eric Blowers, who's a lawyer who is the most prolific schedule award lawyer in the history of Earth. And then from there, you attach the impairment rating, which Eric will help you with. But if you're going on your own, you attach it to a CA7, check letter D schedule award, and send that bad boy into the claim examiner and cross your fingers. I'm not good with hope, but I don't believe it's a real strategy. However, you need to maybe have a little hope that that'll just get accepted. Oftentimes it's not. They'll send it to a second opinion doctor, and the second opinion doctor will think you have a 3% impairment rating versus 30 or whatever, which is another reason you need Eric, really, because they will try to come over and they'll try to get over on you.
And again, we don't have anything with Eric.
No.
We just know that his whole team is number 1 at schedule awards. And I mean, he had one of his attorneys, Matt, in Vegas, and one of the paralegals from Washington, amazing people. So I pinned Eric's info. I'll go ahead and pin it again. I'll go ahead and post it again after the live. So it'll be a new post. I'll tag at followers. And Jill, I saw your question. If there is a doctor you guys feel that can help you and or would like to join our franchise, please let us know. I'll give it to Joe, and Joe gets in contact. Here's what Joe doesn't want. He doesn't want to get a phone number and then he calls a doctor and the doctor says, I have no clue what this is about. Yeah. We can't do that. It has to be somebody that's really, truly interested before they can talk to Joe, because we don't want that to happen.
And I want to say what she said a second ago, just a little different way, because I do a fair amount of promoting Eric Blowers. I mean, I do. But you have to understand where I'm coming from. My job is to make sure you win at everything you do. That's what I want. I want you to win. I'm sick and tired of seeing you lose and get beat by this system, okay? Yes. And so that's why we refer to the most prolific OWCP lawyer in the history of Earth. With that said, she's correct. We, and I mean federal injury centers and Wednesday night OWCP chats, have no financial interest in Eric Blowers' law firm whatsoever, okay? None. We just want you to win.
We just want you to win. We know what their team is all about and how great they are. I mean, we've heard of people getting $30,000 for their thumb, all the way up to a $900,000 schedule award for being a retired, damaged FBI agent. So,
and you know that disclaimer that says results not typical. It's not, right. But your situation is your situation, and I just want you to win. Period. That's it. I just want you to win. Call anybody you want. If you don't like our recommendations, just Google OWCP lawyer. You'll find a dozen of them or so. Call anybody you want. Okay, that's fine. And there's a lot of great ones out there that I really like. There's a guy in California I really like. There's a guy here in Florida I really like. I mean, I like these lawyers. I like them a lot. But I like winning the most, and I just think Eric's a prolific winner, period.
Blowers or bust.
That's right, Jennifer.
True.
And Jennifer, we'll post the information for Carlos and Deborah as well. I saw that.
Again, if you have a doctor in your area that wants to join FIC, please message me. I'm going to have a few questions to ask before I pass it on to Joe, because I don't want to waste the doctor's time and I don't want to waste Joe's time. Alicia Farley, hey guys, Vegas was great. My phone has not stopped ringing. Aw.
Try to get some sleep, Alicia.
Yeah, get some sleep. Denise, okay, did that. Thank you so much. I'm going to message you about getting my union books. Have a good night's sleep. Take care. Thank you. Tim Vanderman says, Alicia, you're amazing. Oh, Todd said, unfortunately, our union sucks. You know what?
Sorry about that. Go up the ladder. Call somebody higher. Call the national office. Do what you got to do.
Gerard Adams said, hey, I want to give a shout out to Tim, Jamie, and Jennifer in Maryland. There you go.
Tim is our franchisee. He's federal injury centers through and through. He's got like 8 or 9 locations in DC, Maryland, Virginia. So you cannot be in the heart of the federal government in this country and have denied claim. Yeah. You just can't. Okay. If you do, you did that to yourself because you didn't call Tim.
Paul said, I have Eric as a lawyer. Francis says, thank you, Chris and Jeannie. Appreciate all your help. Yes, Jennifer, I will post it. He's amazing. And thank you. Okay. So we're going to remember, start paying attention to my posts, because we are going to be doing the same OWCP national training that we do at all of our state and national conventions. Here's the thing. There will be a handful of you from USPS, and there's going to be a handful of you from AFGE. And I mean, there's 4 unions within USPS and then a gajillion in AFGE. Chris is going to take his
gajillion agencies.
Yeah. He is going to touch a little bit on each one because he has stats that he likes to show and talk about. So just make sure that day you have paper and pen. And again, this will not, once the live is done, it will not stay on any of the social media platforms, or it won't be recorded, just for our use only.
But Chris, that's not fair. Very much like OWCP. So show up, be on time, stay the whole time, and get the very best OWCP training you have ever gotten and will ever get. I guarantee it.
And the last two messages, Penny said, I'm winning, finally getting my back pay for the last 2.5 years. I can't thank you enough for the advice of getting with federal injury centers in Chicago.
Winning.
Yes.
Exactly.
And last, Noreen said, this is the best live I've seen on here with you two. Very comfortable.
Thank you so much, Noreen. And John Reverend on YouTube said, what's the meaning of life? Now, John, listen.
Well, that's on my page.
I'm really not qualified to answer that, but as far as I'm concerned, it's winning. Just win. Just win, baby.
Now, remember, if you got it, the local unions, if you want us to do a training for you, we can definitely do it by Zoom, Skype, or right here. We can definitely do it. Just reach out to me. But remember, the official invite must come from somebody that's in the union. The president, VP, secretary, or treasurer. Yeah. It has to be one of the four. I can't take the okay and schedule if it's a shop steward. It has to come from the union officials. I mean, because the last time we tried to do something like that, it wasn't approved by the union and they got in trouble.
Makes us look like jerks too. I don't like to crash the party I wasn't invited to.
So with that said, I will post again all the attorneys' information after that. I will post about the locations that are coming soon, and I will repost about our national OWCP convention that we're going to have in October on a Sunday, 3 to 4 hours, and we will take breaks, but we don't have a date yet, so stay.
And remember to follow us on our podcast, the Breaking OWCP podcast with Chris and Gini. You can download and subscribe to that anywhere you like to listen to podcasts. We're there too. So go check that out. We will be we'll begin recording new live episodes again now that we're home for a while. So you'll get a lot of new information from us coming soon. So go check that out, the Breaking OWCP podcast with Chris and Gini. Until then, thank you for being here tonight, and we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.